We talked about a couple weeks ago, Freddie, the metaverse that Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg's all about attacking the metaverse and being a huge proponent and first mover in the metaverse. Snapchat is right there with them. Snapchat, a huge focus on augmented reality. They're doing a couple of things that are really interesting that lend itself to the metaverse. And as a company, Brad, I'm gonna talk to you about this, but as a company, they're also doing things for expansion. But just talking about this metaverse to kind of continue this conversation, Freddie, which social media companies, and this could be outside of Facebook and Snapchat, which social media companies are still standing in 10 years when the metaverse is in full swing?
Facebook, right? Because they're starting it, so they're in. I guess Snapchat would be one of those, since if you're kind of living in their universe. How can TikTok be in there if it's a metaverse? They'll figure it out. I can't count TikTok out, but I can't see how they'll be applicable. Yeah, definitely Facebook, which is great. Facebook's a long time. Facebook's a journeyman right now.
Yeah, Facebook is, and it'll be interesting. I don't know if they're creating it. It's just this idea that's out there, and they're championing it. But Snapchat low key is as well. Are you getting excited about this metaverse? I don't know if you had. I don't recall if you said that you had heard about this before we brought it up on the channel. But the more we talk about it, how are you feeling about this metaverse? Because I mentioned to you off air, guys. It's not just like a fake world. It's not just like a Sim City type deal. It's literally a world where it's just more accessibility. So we talked about concerts, we talked about sporting events, even just hanging out with your friends, but even use cases for business where I was actually watching a talking head on CNBC who had mentioned, listen, if you're a realtor and instead of just using Google Maps, if you have a client, you can show them through the home virtually through the metaverse. You can show them through the neighborhood, drive them through the neighborhood. So Freddie, like, you excited about this metaverse?
Yeah, 100%. I love to escape reality, and this seems like a very fitting thing. This is 100%. This is what we're already in one, and we don't know it. We're just sick of this version of the game, so we're creating some new shit over the next couple decades. Like, I'm so on board, and I'm also excited for the people this is going to piss off because they're going to be so scared. They're like, oh, everybody's this and that, but it's like, yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, Roblox. I mean, I think I talked about this.
I was just about to say, yeah, Roblox, I think, is probably going to be, I think, in my opinion, it's Facebook 1, Roblox 2.
Yeah.
I like
so we'll see from a stock perspective. Brad, Snapchat had just announced that they made 3 new additions to the team, and based on the additions, it looks like they're going after international growth, which is a huge opportunity for them beyond just the US. And also separately, they are going after sports. And so seeing how that works together, how that plays out and what they're really going for, but creating these specific C-level director roles, what that means for them and for their partnership team. Do you think that this supports them keeping this pace of growth? And what does this mean for the stock? Because let's not forget, it's still not profitable.
Yeah, so they've come in profitable, but barely. And so I think that this is a good move on their part. The people that they put in place, Julie Bogart came from Facebook. She was their strategic partnerships manager for Facebook and Instagram. And I think that's going to be a huge win, or huge ad for them in particular. And just putting the right people in place for Snap, I think that they're doing the right things. In my opinion, I think they're doing fine.
Yeah. And they may not come in profitable this year, but it is not a profitable company. The hope is that they can get there. And I think we both agree that if they can clear profitability and show it annually, that potential that will be a huge catalyst for them. I think the challenge here is you're balancing trying to spend money, trying to keep pace, trying to compete, but also trying to satisfy shareholders. Do you think that should be worrisome? Because Facebook has cash on hand.
Yes, I think there should be some concern for that. But the fact of the matter is that we're seeing Snap take up so much market share in the younger generation, and that's what Facebook's real challenge is. We looked at how many people between the ages of 18 and 24 actually have Snapchat or have the Snapchat app and are active in it, and it was like 80-90% of the U.S. population. So that's so that reach will be able to be monetized at some point, and they'll be able to get over that hump. But Facebook has the money, and I think money certainly is going to be something that will play a factor. It's just, can Facebook do it in a way that they can reach that younger crowd? Because right now, I think that's the biggest challenge.
Yeah. Housekeeping said we're screwed as a society once Metaverse comes out. Just embrace the decline of humanity. Is that legitimate, Freddie? Because the thing I'm thinking is, I feel like every generation talks about the decline of humanity. Is that something there, or is it just us being old folks?
No, I think we're already there, like definitely on a decline. We're on a collapse. We're trying to figure things out. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be the end. It will be the end someday, but it could, I don't know. I think we're already in a decline, and then we'll probably hit another decline when that comes out again, when that comes out full force. I don't know, but what are the good that's going to come out of that? What are laws going to be if you kill someone's character? Like, is that a part of the thing? You know what I'm saying? Because then somebody could make money being a virtual hitman where you don't really kill anybody. You just take someone out because some other guy's trying to grow. Kind of like in that, you got some rich guy that doesn't want the thing. He keeps himself removed and hires a hitman. It's
like real life Matrix. You just plug yourself in.
Yeah.
And program your brain to do whatever you want.
Yep.
That movie's coming out again too. You guys see that?
Yeah, I can't wait.
There's definitely some downside to technology, but I gotta say there's far more upside. And you think about when Twitter first came out, the first time I heard about it was we had an American abroad who was like locked up and nobody knew where he was, and he like tweeted out, and it caught fire, and like basically just the Twitter saved him.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like those stories kind of get lost a little bit because there's another piece to that story. I love technology. Listen, anything we have, there's going to be some negative, some downside, people taking advantage of it. The reality is, technology got us through the pandemic, and arguably we're better for it.
Yeah.
So it's going to be that control, and see how that works. But, Chris Edwards actually brings up a good point. I wasn't sure if I was going to bring this up, but since there's a question here, I lost it.
I got it. Sorry.
Will this be a huge game changer for NFTs, Brett? Here's how the NFTs would technically like work in. It's just an example for the metaverse. Let's say you bought an outfit NFT, you can wear that, in the metaverse, or art, or whatever you have that you can use. As we hear more about this stuff, number one, it makes me want to buy more Ethereum. By the way, I bought a little bit more Bitcoin today, FYI. Nice. But it makes me want to buy more Ethereum. And the more I hear about NFTs, man, they feel like a game changer. They really do.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I think they are. I mean, we've talked about this before. I think the way that I think that when it can be integrated in real life shit, like, house deeds and that sort of thing, stuff that's permanent that you would need to have documents on, that, it's a pain in the ass to try to dig up. Like, if you just have it as an NFT, like, it doesn't go away. You can't alter it. You can't manipulate it. And I think that that's something that will be huge in real life applications.